so good to see you. We're here for Turtle Tots. And if you didn't get to do our Welcome Wiggle, I'm here at the Marine Science Center and I am ready to do the Welcome Wiggle. Are you? All right, so I need you to stand up, get your big hands, and we're gonna put them together and let's swim like fishies. Up and down, let's swim around and up and down. Okay, now let me see those big arms. We're gonna use our big strong arms to be a bird. Let's be a hawk. Big arms up and down, woo. Okay, now, let's see. Pointer man and thumb man, and let's be Homer Crabs. And last but not least, I need two hands together. We're gonna take our hands and we're gonna swim like a big green moray eel. Right here with our green moray eel and his tank, and he swims up. Try not to bump into anything. Up and down, just like this, slippery and swimming. You guys did so good. Thank you so much. Good job. Welcome back to Turtle Tots. As you know, we had some pretty bad storms over here, so we lost connection, but I'm so thankful that you joined back with us today again. So today we're gonna learn about this really cool dude, the green moray eel. He's a slippery, slimy, squiggly wiggly kind of guy. If you've been to the Science Center, then you know we have a big, giant green moray eel. Boy, he misses seeing you guys, I tell ya. So, a green moray eel is a fishy, but he's a long, skinny fishy with a really cool top dorsal fin that runs all the full length of his whole entire body. Would you like to read a story about a couple of really cool moray eels? All right, we're going to read a fun story called Ellie and Ollie Eel, a tale of a fantastic voyage, written by Suzanne Tate and illustrated by James Melvin. Let's read. Ellie and Ollie were big, slippery eels. They were long, skinny fish covered with tiny scales. Their skin felt as smooth as velvet because the scales were so small. Ollie lived most of his life in a bay near the ocean, but when Ellie was young, she swam and wiggled her way up a river. Ellie stayed in the river until she was 7, are you 7? Years old. Then she swam down the river to the old bay. It was there she met Ollie. "Hello, how are you today?" Ellie asked. "I'm hungry," Ollie replied. "But I know where there are good things to eat, at Tate's Landing." Tate's Landing was a seafood store beside the bay. "Oh, you really shouldn't go there," piped up the other eels in the bay. "You might get caught in one of Mark Tate's eel pods." Uh-oh. Ollie didn't want to listen to them. "Come on, Ellie, let's swim over to Tate's Landing tonight. We can find some tasty scraps of fish and crabs there." That night, when eels like to feed, Ollie swam closer and closer to Tate's Landing. Ellie thought it was not a good thing to do, but she followed him and didn't say a word. With his slippery skin, Ollie swam and slipped easily along the bottom. His sense of smell was the very best. Ollie could smell things he'd like to eat as he swam near Tate's Landing. Suddenly, he slipped inside one of Mark's eel pots and was trapped. Uh-oh. Ellie swam up near him right away. She was trapped too. What is going to happen? Other eels were in the pot, squirming and squirming. "Oh, you shouldn't have come in here," they cried. "You won't be able to find your way out." Soon, Mark came along and lifted the pot. He sold eels to a fisherman for bait. So he was happy when he saw all those eels. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? The fisherman and his wife came to Tate's Landing. They gave Mark a big nickel for a bag full of eels. They put the bag in their truck, and down the road they went. Ellie and Ollie, and all the eels squirmed in that bag. What's going to happen? Suddenly, the bag of eels broke open. The fisherman's wife screamed and jumped up and down in the truck. I bet she did. All those slippery eels just kept on squirming. The fisherman stopped the truck and opened the door. "Let's get out of here," cried Ellie. And Ellie and Ollie and all the other eels squirmed out of the truck. The eels wiggled their way into the water near the road. They quickly swam until they were back in the bay, but away from Tate's Landing. Now, it wasn't long after their escape that a strange change came over Ellie and Ollie. They changed color, and their eyes became very large. "I feel a strong urge to swim far away," Ollie said. "I do too," replied Ellie. Something inside the eels was telling them that a special time had come. It was time for them to swim to the Sargasso Sea, many miles away in the ocean. So here's America all the way in the middle of the ocean. Ellie and Ollie began that long swim with many other grown-up eels. They swam and swam until they came to the Sargasso Sea. The eels dived deep down in the water. Both Ellie and Ollie were very tired. "I'm worn out," Ellie said, "but I must release my eggs." She then released millions of eggs into the water. Ollie fertilized them so they would hatch. Ellie and Ollie's important work was all done. Their life cycle was over. Tiny eels soon hatched from the eggs. They didn't look anything like Ellie and Ollie. They don't even look at all. They looked like little leaves and were clear as glass. The baby eels began a year-long voyage to America. They knew they should go there, just as Ellie and Ollie had done when they were little. The baby eels drifted with the Gulf Stream. As they came near the coast of America, they changed and began to look like eels. The young eels, or elvers, returned to the bays and rivers where their parents had lived. It was truly a fantastic voyage. They found their new homes all by themselves. How did they know that? The answer was as slippery as an eel, for no human really knows for sure. Wow, I loved that book. So eels are super slippery and super squirmy, and they like to eat crabs and fishies. And so our little eel that we have at the Science Center sure does like to eat crabs. Some of his favorite foods are mackerel, which are yummy, tasty fishies, and squid. Did you ever try squid? Oh yeah, those are some of our eel's favoriteest foods. So, since we learned Moray eels are slippery and slimy, I thought it sure would be fun on a rainy day to make some slime. Are you ready to make some slime? Alrighty, so we put together the list of ingredients and we put it on the website, so you can go back and look at that. But we also prepared all the ingredients ahead of time for you so you guys can make slime with us. So Alana, would you like to help us with our ingredients? We have our glue, so I measured out our glue right here. So would you like to put those in there?
It's half a cup of glue. And a bowl.
Together. Our contact solution. This helps make it nice and fluffy. So we're gonna pour that in. Okay, I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. So we have our glue contact solution. We have, I think it's a fourth a cup of water. We're gonna add that too. And then we're gonna add baking soda. I think it's a half a teaspoon. I forget what the measurement was on that. And then the funnest of it all is the shaving cream. Our favorite brand is Barbasol. It tends to work really well. We add about 2 cups to that. Okay, I'm gonna pour it in. Let's use your spatula to scoop it out. Wow, look at that, we gotta add more. All right, now it's gonna start getting gloppy. We're gonna add one more. Oh, look at all that foamy shaving cream. Shave it, shave it, shave it. Okay, we're gonna add that. Here, I'll use this one too, because I brought two. Okay, now it's gonna start getting real sticky with that glue and that shaving cream. You can even start to see it's gonna get sticky. It's gonna get stickier and stickier the more you stir it together. If you wanna add color, guess what you can do? You can use food color, or in a pinch, you can just use paint. And we're gonna make it green, just like our green moray eel. So we stir it, stir it, stir it. It takes a lot of work, but boy, it's a lot of fun. If you want to get really dirty, you can stick your hands in there and stir it up. I think Emmanuel's doing pretty good with the spatula. Pretty good. Alrighty, so while he's doing that, I'm going to show you our craft.
This is the pinkish one.
Wow, look at that. So, just like, ooh, it spreads. So this is foamy slime. There's all kinds of different recipes you can make, but I thought that this is super fun because your kids can play with this for a long time. So, moray eels are covered in slime, and slime helps them stay protected in the water from the water. They do have scales, but they're mostly covered in slime. How cool is that? Do you think that's cool, Emmanuel? Mm-hmm. Very cool. So we did make a craft. Emmanuel, would you like to show our craft, what we did today? We made some really beautiful moray eels. Here's one, a blue one made by Alana earlier today. We also made one, this one we used brads so that our moray eel can slime around and slime around. And then we made another one. Emmanuel made this one green, like our green moray eel. Thank you, baby. Put that right there. And so what you do is cut a circle around a paper plate, and then you're going to staple it, and then you can paint it. Now you can do your paint with, Emmanuel, help me paint right here. Yeah.
On my hand.
We have our shout outs to do, Peyton and MJ, and these are their megalodon teeth that they made and they painted. How cool is that? Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And I want to say a big thank you to Alana and my special guest Emmanuel for all your help. And then of course, thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.